is a KNOE 8 News Severe Weather Alert.
Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you so much for joining me this afternoon. My name is Mallory West, and it is 1 o'clock on the dot here. And if you've been following us throughout the day, you know the topic of the day is that wintry weather that we are seeing outside. And I'm joined now with Chief Meteorologist Marcus Walter. Marcus, can you give us an update on what we're seeing?
Well, we're still seeing rain and wintry weather across our region now. If you're anywhere across central Ouachita Parish, you're seeing rain falling. We have temperatures right at 32 degrees, but we are expecting colder conditions tonight, and that brings the concern of that moisture freezing. So let's take a look at what's happening on our tower cam. This is a look at Monroe right now. We have a lot of low-level clouds out there. We have a lot of rain falling, and the farther north you go, the colder the air is. And again, that tower cam shows it's a dreary sight across our region. And this is what we'll be dealing with for at least another 20 to 22 hours. Again, this is a look at our Creed and Creed tower cam. But now as we talk about what's happening on our graphics, we wanted to start out with this photo from meteorologist Abby Azale. She was able to go outside not too long ago and actually measure how deep the sleet is right here at our TV station. And we're looking at an estimate or a measurement of right around 1.5 inches. That's in the grass. On the pavement, we've seen about 1 inch or so of sleet. So again, this sleet is accumulating, but now at the moment we're dealing with rain mixing in, and that is bringing more impacts to our region. Here's a look at Doppler radar. You see a lot of colors on the map. What you see right here, the brighter yellows and greens, that is rain. So it's still warm enough across Concordia Parish to the point where they're only dealing with rain right now. But we're noticing pinks pushing into LaSalle Parish and also across much of the Arklamas. That is a sign that we're likely seeing freezing rain. But again, here at Monroe, right at the surface, we have temperatures at 32 degrees. So a lot of that freezing rain is making it to the ground as rain. But as we cool off this afternoon and evening, we'll see a lot of that change over to ice. And again, that extends farther to the north as well. And some of the purple that you see, that is typically sleet. So that's the ice pellets that we see. But more than anything, we're dealing with freezing rain right now and just plain rain farther to the south and east. As we look toward Ouachita Parish and also over toward Ruston, again, we have a lot of pink overhead. That's a sign that that freezing rain is impacting us. So this is not your time to go outside and travel. Sure, you can look out your window, you can step outside your home and take in what's happening, but we encourage you to stay at home during this winter weather event. As we look north, we're looking at a lot of freezing rain across much of Ashley County. So if you are in Crossett or Wilmot, again, you're dealing with that freezing rain. Now, Longview likely dealing with a mixture of freezing rain and sleet, and El Dorado potentially starting to dry out. We are expecting a break in the wet weather that we're dealing with now as we head into the afternoon, but then we'll see more moisture move across our region. As we look farther to the south and east, Vicksburg, you're dealing with light rain nearby. Tallulah, you're also dealing with light freezing rain, and we see that also across much of Madison Parish, and then more rain across southern portions of Tensall Parish. At the moment, Winsboro, you are dealing with quieter weather, but again, more moisture is expected for you as well. And we're noticing heavier pockets of rain across much of Concordia Parish. Places like Natchez dealing with rain right now. Gina, we're dealing with freezing rain at this hour, and we see that extending over into southern portions of Wynn Parish. So again, the pink that you see on the map, that's what we're most concerned with right now. That's the freezing rain. That's the rain that freezes on contact, and that's what leads to very slippery conditions across our region. When we look at the broader storm system, it's still bringing a lot of rain farther to the south. So if you had any family or friends, if you have any family or friends across southern Louisiana, they're dealing mostly with rain. And then as we look over toward Dallas, they're dealing with a mix of freezing rain, sleet, and snow, and then more snow across northern portions of Texas. And we see that snow extending up into Illinois and Indiana, as well as Kentucky and Tennessee. So millions of people are being impacted by this larger storm system. And we're still tracking this upper level low that's spinning now into northern portions of Mexico. That's the low that will send more moisture our direction as we head through tomorrow. And so that's why we are still tracking the threat for wintry weather as we head into at least Sunday morning. Our forecast models are still showing an additional 1/4 of an inch to potentially 3/4 of an inch of icing. So we're not done yet. So far, I think this storm has overperformed or done better than what we were originally thinking when it comes to the ice accumulations. Again, that sleet already totaling near an inch, if not above an inch, and we're expecting more as we head throughout the evening into tomorrow morning. On top of that, we still have the chance to see some snow I think a lot of the areas south of Interstate 20 will likely stay, for the most part, snow-free or very little snow. But across South Arkansas, toward the tail end of the system into Sunday, we could see some light accumulations of snow, so that will add insult to injury. So how much longer with this wintry mix? We're expecting another 20 to 22 hours of it. We will have some breaks in the activity, but overall, things will wrap up as we head towards Sunday morning. Another 2 to 3 days with the temperatures near or below freezing. But here's some good news. We do get a touch warmer as we head toward Wednesday, and then we'll stay fairly comfortable into Thursday for this time of year at least, but then we'll cool back down. Originally, we were thinking that another winter storm could impact us. That's still a possibility, but it's not as likely based on the forecast that we're seeing. I do want to point out temperatures, though, because this will play a big part in what falls and what happens after it falls. I mentioned we're 32 degrees here in Monroe, so we're right at freezing. But if this temperature drops, which is forecast to happen, we'll see anything that falls starts to freeze on contact with the surface. And then as we look toward places like Ruston, they are a few degrees below freezing now. So anything that's falling in Lincoln Parish is likely freezing on contact with the ground. And that's definitely the case for El Dorado, although at the moment they are starting to dry out. You'll notice places like Natchez still warmer, more at least above freezing, near 40 degrees. So they have fared out in terms of only receiving rain. But all of the arc limits will cool down as we head into Sunday and Monday, and we'll really feel the extreme chill. So let's time things out. This is a look at our graph model. It's showing a surge of moisture pushing in as we head toward 9 and 10 p.m. This will be similar to what we have seen already. You see a lot of the pink on the map again. That is freezing rain, that is sleet that'll be sweeping in. Then as we head toward 1 and 2 a.m. in the morning, we may see a few breaks in the activity, but another surge of moisture does move in as we head into the early part of Sunday. And again, that'll bring more freezing rain and sleet to us as well. The good thing is with this graph model, it has been consistently showing a lot of the moisture starting to clear out as we head toward late Sunday morning, anywhere from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. So if you are concerned, again, we have another 20, 22 hours of wintry weather. Afterwards, we will start to dry out, but again, that cold air really does take over. Here's a look at the wind chill forecast. This is a look at Sunday evening. We will see wind chills down to the single digits. This is the next part of our weather event this weekend. The first part is what we're dealing with now. The next part will be the extreme cold. And as we look ahead to Monday morning, single digits on the way and potentially sub-zero wind chills as we head toward Tuesday morning. And some of you may be asking, what is the wind chill? And I feel like a lot of folks are familiar with that measurement. The wind chill factors in the wind and how the wind and the temperature, the combination, how that air feels to your skin. So the higher the wind and the colder the conditions, the lower the wind chill, the more it feels even colder than what the actual air temperature is. And that plays a factor in how quickly you cool off. And if you cool off too quickly, it puts your health at risk. So again, we're talking about dangerous wind chill after the winter weather now. But a lot of us are still think we have to get through this winter weather. We have to get through the potential for power outages. We'll have an update on that in a second. But cold air moves in after this winter weather. So we're not out of the woods yet, but we have about 22 more hours of wintry weather in terms of falling precipitation. Here's a look at the 7-day forecast. We'll see mainly dry conditions for much of next week. Temperatures by Tuesday afternoon will go above freezing. We are expecting more sunshine Monday. That'll help with melting, but you'll notice that forecast high for Monday is still just below freezing, so that may keep some icing around. But we will bring more updates to you in terms of weather as we head throughout the rest of today.